Hello everyone, how are you, man? So, as promised, now we are going to start learning about Python. Okay, so in the series of Python, we are going to first start with what is Python. Okay, and in this video, we will try to understand what is Python in simple way. Okay, we will not be talking about by definition of any book or any Google. Okay, we will simplify it in simple way. Okay, simplest of simplest way we'll be understanding Python. Okay, so let's start with what is Python without wasting time. So if you see the screen, okay, so it is written that in simple term Python is a programming language. Okay, programming language. So in simply you can say that Python is a language, but you must have aware the language. Okay, what is the meaning of language? But we will be also talking about what is language. But you must be notice that why it programming is added in this sentence. Why Python is a programming language? You could also say that Python is a language. Okay, okay. So to understand this definition in depth, first of all we have to understand two terms. Okay, two terms, which is programming and other is language. Okay, of course you must have aware about these two words, but it might be that all of you must not know in depth meaning of these two words. Okay, so in this video we will try to understand these two words in simple term. Okay, and then we will we will add these two terms to understand what is Python. That is the goal of this video. And also we'll be covering a couple of more points which will help you to understand this concept in more depth, right? So let's start with programming and language. So let's first talk about language. Okay, because we all are aware of this word, aware of this word. Okay, so what is language? What is language? So the definition of language is that language is used to communicate between two persons. Okay, in simple term. So what is the meaning of this definition? Okay, so let's talk about example, simple example. Okay, so everything will be cleared. What is meaning of this? So let's say you and your parents. Okay, whenever you talk about you communicate with your parents, okay, or parents communicate with you. So to communicate to your parents, okay, so you use a language, or it may be your English, it may be your Hindi language, or it may be your other mother tongue language, or maybe it is Chinese, or maybe it is Spanish, right? But it is must that you are using a language, any language, to communicate between you and your parents. Or right now we are communicating, like you are listening my voice, so I am communicating with you in English, you can say. Okay, so just create a scenario. Okay, just create a scenario. Let's say that with some magic, okay, you forgot the all language. Okay, whatever language you know. Let's say you used to communicate with your parents in Hindi language, okay, or English language. Now by some magic, okay, let's say you forgot English or Hindi or any other language. Okay, and your parents also forgot the language. Now imagine the scenario that now will you able to communicate with your parents? Just imagine about yourself. Okay, imagine about yourself. And if you have thought about it, then I can definitely say that you can't communicate with your parents without any language. Okay, if you forgot any all language that you and your parents know, right? You can't communicate without any language. So that's why I have written that language is used to communicate between two persons. So language is must. Language is must to communicate between two persons. So you might be getting a question in your mind that, hey, if I don't know any language, I can communicate with some indication or some sign, by giving some sign, by just showing some sign. Okay, you can communicate, of course, by some sign, but by some indication you can communicate, but that will not be a great communication. Okay, that will not be a great communication. So so totally what I want to say that to communicate between you and your parents or two person, okay, it may be your friends or like we are communicating with each other, okay, you are listening my voice, okay. So to communicate between two person, okay, you must know same language, okay, you must know, you and your parents or you or your friends or you or me must know the same language, one same language, then we'll be able to communicate. And it could be, and also let's say you and your friends know, let's say take one scenario, again one scenario that let's say you know only English, okay, but your friend is from China, okay, now he only knows Chinese, okay, and just except Chinese your friend doesn't know any other language, and you also only know English, and except English you don't know any other language. Now let's someone force you to communicate between you and your friends. Now question is, will you able to communicate with your friends, Chinese friends? Answer is definitely not. Think about that scenario. So so not only you know the language, okay, so to have a great communication, you and your partner, okay, must know same language. It is also a must, okay. Okay, let's say your friends know 100 languages, okay, and you also know 100 language, but all 200 language you know not are. So let's say you know 100 language, but whatever language you know, your friend doesn't know all 100 language, and your friends know 100 language, but all the language you don't know. So can you both have communication? No, it can't be. Even you know 100 language and your friends know 100 language, okay, to have communication, that must you and your partner know a single language which you both know. I hope you are getting my point, what I want to say. So let's recap what we have understood so far. So we were talking about language, okay. So we understood that language is used to communicate between two person, okay. And 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 also we have seen that, so to have communication, you and your friend or your partner also know the same language. Otherwise, even though if you don't know same language, it will not you are not going to communicate with your friends or whatever person is that, right? So it should be simple to you now. I hope you understood the point, okay. I hope it is clear to you. Now let's move to understand what is programming. Okay, so programming word is actually, the root word of programming is program. Okay, so let's try to understand program. Okay, and once we understand the program, it is just a it is just a slang word of program. So no, sorry, not slang, but it is just a extended word of program. Programming is the extended word of program. So if you understand root word program, then you can automatically understand what is program. Okay, so let's try to understand program. So program definition of program is that program is a plan of action to accomplish or complete a task. Program is what? A plan of action. Okay, we will understand what is the meaning of a plan of action. Okay, to accomplish or complete a task. So to understand this thing, let's take an example, simple way. So let's say in your school or in your college, okay, so whatever class in you are studying in, okay, let's say, so there is going to be a program of dance, okay. You must have heard that term yeah, when you might have been studying in your high school or secondary school or in college, okay. So there is a dance program which is going to be on some certain date, okay. Let's say on 17th there is going to be a dance program. So if you remember, okay, so what happens in dance program, okay. So in dance program, okay, there are some person, okay, which are going to perform dance on the stage, okay. Simply let's say the college had decided that hey, first Ram will go to dance on the stage, okay, and their time duration is 10 minutes, okay, and after that Siam will go to dance on the stage for 5 minutes, okay. Then then it is programmed that after that maybe Menaka is going to dance on the stage for, let's say, 80 minutes, okay. So so what you have understood, okay. So there are some sequence of dance, okay, which is predefined, okay, that hey, this person will come on the dance, after that another person, Siam will come to the dance, okay. And after all the person have danced, then there will be a prize ceremony, okay. In prize ceremony, whoever danced really good, okay, they will he will get, or they will get some prize according to their dance, okay. So there is a step by step things, okay, which is going to be performed on dance program. So so by this definition, okay, by this definition, what I want to say that, as we have seen, that program means a plan of action to accomplish or complete a task, okay. So if you understand the word a plan of action, okay, a plan of actions means the step by step, okay, that you have decided that hey, Ram will dance for 5-10 minutes, okay, Siam will dance for 5 minutes, after Menaka will dance for 7 minutes, after, and, and so on, okay. And after the end of that dance program, in the last, okay, there will be prize ceremony, okay. So these are the steps, okay, a plan of action, okay, the right word would be a plan of action, okay. So, and which is going to be performed to accomplish a dance program. It might be of 2 hours. A dance program might be of 2 hours, okay. So so that is the meaning of a plan of action to complete a task. And here, what is the task is to dance program. Dance is a task which is going to be completed by some set of actions, okay. Set of actions means the set of procedure, like Ram will dance first, Siam will dance after Ram, after that Menaka will come, okay, so on. I hope you are getting my point, okay. So that is the meaning of program. And let's take one more example, okay, to understand this thing. So program, so second definition, second example would be like, let's say you want to cook a vegetable, okay. So when you cook vegetable, okay, so there are some steps, okay. For example, let's say you want to cook a vegetable, so you'll arrange a pot, okay. And then you put that pot on the fire, okay, over the fire, okay. So and you will wait until it hot, or pot is hot. And after pot is hot, then you will put oil on that pot, okay. And after that and you put oil, and you wait for it is hot, okay, until it hot, okay. And then after that, while is hot, then you put some onion on that oil, okay, and you mixed it for a couple of minutes. And after your onion and oil is hot, then you put some vegetable on that pot, and you mixed again for a couple of minutes. And after that, you put some water on that vegetable, and you mixed for, and you wait until it is cooked, okay. So 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 by just giving you this example, okay. So what did you understand from this example? That there are some step by step things, okay, that you are going to complete to complete a task, which is to cook a vegetable, that is the task, okay. Okay, and think about that, okay. If you don't follow a step by step procedure, let's say you first put vegetable on that pot, okay, then you put water on that pot, okay, then you put some oil on that pot, okay. So do you think that after it is being cooked, okay, do you think that that food will be tasty? Think about that. That must not be tasty, because you haven't followed the procedure that a cooking a vegetable requires, right? Just a minute. That is what I want to say. So to complete a task, okay, so any task, okay, almost, not we can say any task, but most of the task, okay, whatever we generally do in our day-to-day use, we we have some step-by-step procedure or step-by-step actions that we follow to complete any task. So we have taken example of dance task, or we can say dance program. We have taken example of cooking, sorry, vegetable. So to cook a vegetable, we follow some method or some actions, so that our our vegetable will be tasty. And there will be many examples, but I hope you are getting my point. What is the meaning of program? Program means a plan of actions, okay, which you are going to follow, so to accomplish a task greatly. That is the my point. I hope you are getting my point. So after understanding these two words, okay, programming and language, just recap what we have learned so far, okay, and then we will connect these two words in Python, okay, because we haven't talked about what is the why we are saying Python is a programming language. We have understood these two terms in simple definition, okay, simple way, or general day-to-day use cases. Now we will put these two word meaning into that definition, so that it will be clear what is the meaning of Python, and why it is written Python is a programming language. Okay, so just recap these two words once again. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, so first of all, we had talked about what is language. Okay, so we have seen that language used to communicate between two person. Okay, so language, let's say English or Hindi, these language helps to communicate between two person. I hope it is clear to you. Okay, this was the simple definition. And program means a plan of actions, okay, a plan of actions or set of actions to accomplish a task, or set of procedure. We can say set of procedure to accomplish a task, a step by step procedure to accomplish a task. Okay, so now understand what is the programming language. Okay, I hope after understanding these two words, now we will be able to understand what is meaning of what is the meaning of what Python is a programming language. So you know that Python is also a language. Okay, so Python is also a language. So what is the goal of language? Language goal is to communicate between two person. Okay, or here we are learning computer. Okay, so we want to communicate with computer. So a human and a computer, two things. Okay, so two things wants to communicate. A human and a computer. So so you know that to communicate between two things, we need a language. But in case of human language, there is a English, Hindi, or Chinese language, Spanish language. So these words are used to communicate between two person, two human. Okay, but when we want to communicate between computer, we need a computer language. Okay, so so that we can communicate with computer, right? So here Python is one of language, just like human language like English or Hindi. Okay, so in also in computer, there is not only one language which is Python. There are a lot of languages, like you must have heard about Python, C++, JavaScript, uh, Java, okay, R, Golang. So there are many hundred of languages, okay, which is used to communicate between computer and human. I hope you are getting my point. So that is the meaning of Python is a language. Okay, now, okay, we have understood that Python is a language, but what is programming? Okay, what is programming here? We could have also said that hey, Python is a language, just like we say that hey, English is what? English is a human language, you can say, or English is a language which is used to communicate between two person. There's simple definition of English or Hindi, okay, or Spanish or Chinese. So Python is not only said that hey, Python is a language. So whatever article or whatever website you visit on the internet or books, you will not see the definition that hey, Python is a language. Whatever, if you are seeing such definition, Python, you will see that Python is a programming language. Python is a programming language, and you will never see that hey, at anywhere that Python is a language, or Python is a computer language. You must have seen that programming word is added in that definition. So, what I want to say that understanding programming word is also a must to understand the meaning of what Python is a programming language. Okay, so now understand what is the meaning of programming here, what it represent when we talk about computer and human. Okay, just try to understand. Okay, so we have understood what is language. Okay, in terms of Python or Java or C++. So it helps to communicate between human and computer. Okay, just like English is used to communicate between two person. Okay, so I hope you are getting the meaning of difference, getting the difference between these two definitions. Okay, so you have cleared it so far. Now try to understand programming. So we have understood that programming means a plan of actions, okay, to accomplish or complete a task. A plan of actions means what? Plan of actions means there will be some procedure, okay, there will be some steps. When you follow that steps, or those steps, you complete a task, or you complete a task, right? So what happens that, so when you will be writing or talking to your computer, okay, so let's say there is a big problem, okay, let's say there is a big problem. So when you will be writing code, or when you will be talking to your computer, so if there is a big problem, so that task, okay, that task will be divided into subtask, mini subtask. Let's say there are 10 subtasks, okay, and those subtasks will have some step by step procedure. Let's say task one will have some steps, okay, some procedure to complete a subtask, okay. Then there will be second subtask, okay, and they will have own set of procedures, okay, to complete that task, okay. So there will be 10 subtasks, and then adding those 10 subtasks will solve the problem of big problem, okay. So that is how you might be working you will be solving the problem of computer, or communicating with uh, computer, okay, or human will be communicating with computer. So what I want to say that, so whenever you are you are solving or communicating with computer, so you will be always using some program, okay, some set of procedure, okay, set of instruction, okay, and accomplish a small task. And if it is a big problem, you will be solving it step by step. You will have you will have 10 or 10 to 10 or 15 or 20 subtasks, and those 20 or 15 subtasks will be solving a big problem. Okay, so in conclusion, just give me a minute. So in conclusion, so whenever you are trying to communicate, okay, or trying to communicate means trying to solve a problem, you will be using some task, okay, and that task will have some procedure, okay, the step by step procedure. And if you are not following that procedure, it may be that, or it must be that you will not be able to accomplish that task, or you will not be communicating with your computer. Okay, what does it mean? Okay, what does it mean? So just try to understand why I'm saying that hey, if you don't follow some procedure, you will not be able to communicate with your computer. So if you compare with example of, let's say, when you want to cook food, okay, cook vegetable. So if you don't follow a right procedure, okay, to cook a food or cook a vegetable, do you think that that food will be tasty, or that vegetable will be tasty? Of course not. Okay, same thing happens with computer. Okay, computer will have a set of instruction, and if you don't follow that instruction correctly, it might crash your computer. You will not be able to communicate with your computer, or computer will not follow, will not give you the right solution, or you will not be able to, let's say, you will not be able to communicate with your computer. That is the main answer. Okay, so that is the reason that if you want to, if you want to communicate with your computer, you will have a program. Okay, program means a set of instruction which must be followed to communicate with your computer. And if you don't follow at any point of time, if you don't follow the procedure, it might be that your program is not going to run, or you are not going to communicate with your computer. That is the goal of programming. Okay, and also one more thing I want to add, that so in simple language, okay, when we communicate with English, okay, sorry, when we communicate with other person, so generally when we talk about okay, when we talk in English, okay, so what happens that, let's say, so whatever we do in day to day task, like right, so some tasks are randomly, okay, and some tasks are randomly done, okay, and but some tasks are some task requires step by step procedure. For example, let's say you wanted to cook food, okay, so there is a some procedure. Let's say you want to go to office, okay, so there is some procedure, okay, there is some procedure that, hey, you will take that bus to reach there, and after reaching there, you will pick, you will take you will get on the other bus, okay, and after that, reaching that point, okay, you will be using some train. Okay, so there is some step by step things that you are going to do to accomplish a task. Or it may be that your task is to reach at your office, okay, this is one subtask, okay, and after completing this task, might be that in your office, then you log in your computer, okay, and after logging your computer, you will be assigned to some task, okay, and your task will it should be completed in a day, okay, and there will be some procedure, okay. So what I want to say that, so in day to day task, okay, there are some tasks which requires a step by step procedure, okay, but sometimes some tasks also not require some steps. For example, let's say you go to forest, okay, but you don't have any idea that, hey, how can we enter in that forest, and how can we come out from that forest. You don't have Google Maps, you don't have anyone who can suggest you, okay. So in that case, of course, you are, whatever path you are going to follow, that should be random, okay, because you don't know about that forest. So at that time, you will be using random, you will be taking random steps, okay, random decisions, which is not even decided, predefined, or which is not defined so far. So what I want to say that, so in human, okay, so whenever we want to communicate with anyone, okay, there are some tasks which require some step by step procedure, and sometimes some task doesn't require any step by step procedure, okay, that requires random things, okay, in our general day-to-day life. But in case of computer, in case of computer, whenever you are writing any program, okay, or whenever you are trying to communicate with your computer, there must be a procedure, there must be a set of instruction or set of actions which you will be going to use to communicate with your computer. And in computer, there won't be a scenario where you will be using random things, or random procedure, and you want to communicate with your computer. If you are following these random steps, definitely your computer will going to crash, or you will not be able to communicate with your computer. Okay, so that is the reason it is written that programming word is added in that definition. Programming actually especially specify that, hey, whatever whatever code, or whatever things you are going to write, or whatever things you are going to communicate with your computer, there must be some set of instruction or step by step procedure to so that you will be able to communicate with your computer. That is the reason it is written programming. And if it is not, let's say, it is not written that, hey, Python is a programming language. Let's say it was written that, hey, Python is a language. Python is a language, also fine, okay, it is also fine. But when we write, when you add programming term, it 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 specify that hey, whatever things you are going to use, communicate with your computer, there must be a set of instruction. So actually this programming word enhance the definition of Python. Okay, that is the use, that is, let's say if it was written that hey, Python is a language, okay, it is 40% correct, okay. But when you add programming term, it enhance the definition to even 80 to 90%. Okay, that is the main goal of adding programming term in that definition. I hope it is clear to you what is the meaning of Python. Okay, why it is written Python is a programming language, and why programming, what is added in this definition. Okay, it is specify, especially specify that hey, it is a set of instruction that you are going to use to communicate with your computer. And if you don't follow the set of instruction, you will not be able to communicate with your computer, or computer will not understand your language, right? I hope it is clear to you. Now 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 i i hope that you are able to understand what is the meaning of what is Python. Okay, in simple term, Python is a programming language. And why it is a language, now you might, I assume that now you will be able to answer it without any hesitation, that what is why it is Python is known as Python is a programming language. And you can now, even someone ask you in the interview why it is known as a language, why it is known as Python is a programming language, you must be able to answer clearly. Yeah, and you will be able to now even explain hey, why it is written language, why it is written a programming, right? That is the answer of Python. What is Python? Okay, so now let's try to understand couple of more things in Python. Okay, so also I have written here is that in computer term, programming means a set of instruction for a computer to perform a task or to communicate with your computer. Okay, and if you compare with this this definition with simple definition, it is similar almost. Okay, I have just written it a set of instruction, but you could have also used a plan of action for a computer to perform a task. Both are similar. Okay, but why I have written this definition, because if you go through internet, okay, you might be coming across such type of word. That's why I have written it. Okay, and there is nothing there is no difference between these two words. Okay, that is the goal of writing this definition. And language, you know that hey, it is used to communicate between computer and human. Okay, because here we want to communicate with computer. Okay, that's why it is known as uh, it is used to communicate between computer and human, just like English or Hindi. Okay, it is used to communicate between two person. I hope it is clear to you. Okay, so there are a couple of more points which I wanted to discuss with you. So point is that, so in this video, okay, in this video you understood that what is programming and language. it is it is clear to you. And and we had also understood that why Python is known as programming language. Why not only language, or computer language? Why don't we say only it is a language, or Python is a computer language? We have also understood that why it is known as programming language, right? And if you repeat the meaning, reason is that we can say Python is simply a language. Okay, but if you want to give weightage, okay, that hey, if you say Python is a language, it's 40% correct. Okay, 40% weightage you can get. But when you add programming, it enhance the definition of Python. Okay, to even 80 to 90%. Just it enhance. Okay, it enhance the definition. That is the only reason. That's why that's why we say Python is a programming language. I hope it is again clear to you. And third is that to learn any language, okay, to learn any language like English or Hindi or Spanish, we have some grammar. Okay, grammar of that language. Okay, for example, let's say you want to you want to learn any language. Let's say you want to learn English. Okay, so to learn English, okay, So there are some step by step things. For example, you cannot learn hey tense first. Okay, if you don't know anything about English. So when you start learning any language, okay, you start some alphabets. Let's say in English there is a word, the alphabet A B C D E F G H I, and after learning these things, then you start making words. Okay, then you say hey, CAT, then you use DOG. You try to understand the word meaning. Okay, and once you understood couple of words, okay, then you move to make sentence. Okay, then you make sentence, hey, it is mango, hey, it is he's a ram. Okay, then you start understanding some more complex sentence. Okay, so after this is the procedure. Okay, this is the procedure. And as much as you try to learn new things, okay, so same way you will be able to communicate fluently in English, right? So what I want to say that, so Python also has some syntax, some grammar. Okay, okay, just like English or Hindi or any Spanish language. So if you understand that grammar, okay, and as much as you practice you do with Python, you will be able to write code fluently, just like English. Okay, if you, so let's say let's say you work only 200 hours to learn English. Okay, so definitely you will not be able to speak fluently, right, in English. And same same thing happens with Python. Let's say you only work 200 hours to learn Python. Okay, so you will not be able to write code efficiently or fast. Okay, fast. So as much as you give time to learn Python or any language or anything, you will be more fluent in that thing. Okay, that is the what this point tells you. Okay, so what I want to say that to understand, to learn Python, there will be some grammar. Okay, grammar means if you compare with English language, so there is alphabet, there is some rules. Okay, let's say. And also I want to say one thing that, let's say, so you know that in English, let's say you say he is around. Okay, okay, so why you use he, after that you use is, then after that you use a, then you use ram? Can you say that hey, is he a ram? So if you say that, sometimes there will be no meaning, and if there is a meaning, then meaning of that sentence will be changed. Okay, so grammar decides the meaning of that sentence. Just a minute. Right, so that is the that is the goal of grammar. Grammar is a rule. Okay, so when you follow that rules, it means that you are using your then you are then you will be able to speak English or whatever language you are learning. Same thing happens with Python as well. So there will be some grammar, there will be some rule. Okay, you have to follow, and if you don't follow that rule, the meaning will be changed, or sometimes there is no meaning of that code or whatever things you are communicating with your computer. And as much as you practice on that language, you will be able to more fluent in that language, same as English language or Hindi language or any Spanish language, right? that is the goal of that is the goal of this third main point. And and next video we will be talking about the grammar of Python. Okay, just like we learn grammar of English to understand English or to learn English and be fluent in English. Okay, that is the goal of Python. I hope it is clear to you, right? So in next video, okay, so we will be starting to understand more about Python. Okay, and we will keep learning Python. Okay, so and at the end of this series of Python, you will be able to understand Python, and will be able to write code fast and efficiently, right? I hope now in this video you have understood the what is the meaning of Python and why it is a programming language, right? It was just simple way that we have taught in this video, right? Thank you.